Hey y'all, it's Steve, Hobo with Wood, and this video is going to address gears, gear relations, and a small apology tour. So hang around, we're going to have an informative video and hopefully entertaining video. Don't go anywhere. Okay, so if things are going well, this is the first recorded video that I've been able to do in quite some time, and fingers crossed this is actually going to work. But before we jump into the video today and talk about gears and planetary gears and the clockwork mechanism I'm going to be working on, I need to do a bit of an apology tour. In the last live stream, there was someone who come in at the very end of the conversation, completely off topic, and they were talking about a bad experience that they were having with Roly automation. And there were some things that were said that kind of made me want to think that maybe this isn't on the up and up. Number one, I know Roly Automation's support is second to none. So for someone to be being ghosted or not getting a reply and having a really bad experience, it's the first I'd ever heard of it with anybody from Roly Automation. So it just didn't jive with me. So I made the comment that I wasn't calling them a liar, but I also didn't necessarily believe what they were saying. Well, lo and behold, after the live stream, he started filling up my email with 8 different emails showing the correspondence that he was having. And there was 3 or 4 that was from Roly. And what had happened was he had placed a pre-order on RolyAutomation.com. He placed a pre-order for a 30-watt laser. Well, when those lasers were ready to be fulfilled, he received an email from Roly that said, hey, the lasers are in, they're ready to ship. Here is your confirmation number. Apply this code to your order, and it will get you your $100 pre-order deposit applied to your laser, and we'll get your laser out to you. Well, I don't know what happened, but somewhere, well, no, actually what happened first was he went and he clicked on it and ordered and paid for a laser in full, but he paid for the 10-watt laser. He pre-ordered a 30-watt laser, but whenever he placed the order and paid for it, he paid for the 10-watt laser. And I think this is a good thing, that whoever was fulfilling the order noticed the discrepancy and they just stopped. So instead of sending out the 10-watt laser he paid for, he and the fulfiller, the puller, initiated a response that got a response from Leo to the buyer saying, hey, look, you pre-ordered a 30-watt, but you paid for a 10-watt. So we've stopped what we are doing until you can clarify which one you want. Do you want the 30-watt? If so, I'll make a special order so you can make up the difference in the 2 lasers. But if you want the 10-watt, we'll just ship the 10-watt. But let us know, which do you want? Do you want the 30 or the 10? He never replied to that. And I've made jokes. And I'm in this group. I had an AOL email account, and I make jokes about the majority of my demographic is the old farts that still have the AOL accounts, and with love, this is one of those old farts. But now he's This ain't his first laser. He's got lasers and he's using LightBurn. He's familiar with it. But he likes to do things old school. So in his emails, he's like, here's my phone number. Just call me. Just call me. Well, these people are 12 hours different in time. So, whenever that was just not convenient and not really doable. So he received another email from Roly saying, hey, just clarify which one you want and we'll get this out. Still, no clarification was sent through. But somewhere in this process, he got involved with a third-party shipping somewhere that he thought the laser had been shipped. So he's thinking he paid for a laser and it's been shipped, but nothing's ever showing up. But now he's got some third party involved that's not responding and he's back and forth with, and that's where he got really nervous and anxious and upset because it wasn't Roly. And so after about the 7th or 8th email from him, I had mentioned in that live stream, contact Dimitri through Facebook. And I don't know if he uses Facebook. I don't know. Well, so I did it. I took the initiative. I reached out and contacted Dimitri, made him aware of what's going on. Dimitri, man, I gave him the man's name, and in seconds he said, okay, yeah, I got it right here. Here's the order number. And I didn't know Dimitri could do this. But yep, I got it right here. I got the order number, and what's his email? Oh, yep, okay, I got his email here, and he pulls up the entire thread of all the emails. And he said, okay, yeah, I see what's going on. We're just waiting for clarification on which laser. I said, well, he's waiting on a phone call. He's wanting somebody to call him. And so, this was, I don't know, maybe 8 or 9 o'clock at night. And for me, I'm not real sure what time it was for Dimitri. But it was, I think this particular viewer might have been California, so it was still kind of early for them. But Dimitri's like, well, you may call him. I'll call him. Is that what we need? I said, yeah, I think that's where we need to go now. Just reach out and call him. So Dimitri, we hung up. Dimitri called him, got the clarification done, got everything handled, got his laser on the way. So he was telling the truth about him having ordered and paid for a laser, and he wasn't getting the responses and replies because he was dealing with a third-party shipping company that had nothing to do with Roly, and no one knows how he got involved in that conversation, where it started or how it came to be. But he was wanting a phone call. He got a phone call, and it's handled. So for the rest of you who are watching that live stream, and we're also thinking that maybe this was somebody who was attempting to throw shade, it wasn't. He was legit. But, and again, with love, he was one of them old farts that wants to do things old school. Give me a phone call, dadgummit. I just need to talk to somebody. Get on the phone. I've spent my money. I want to talk to you. Where's it at? We made that happen. It's all straightened out. So my apologies, sir, for doubting you. And I'm glad you got the chance to talk with Dimitri and to see firsthand that he's a good guy. He will take care of your issues. He'll take care of your problems. And for those who are, I'm just not using social media. Social media is, it can be a tar pit. It can be a nightmare. But use it as a tool. For this case, it's the absolute best way to communicate with Roly Automation, and you can get an immediate and direct response. Nobody uses telephones anymore. Nobody. I mean, I haven't had a landline since 2000. I haven't had a landline since in 24 years. Nobody uses telephones anymore. The telephone I got, it's my handheld smartphone, and I use it for a computer more than I do for a telephone. Nobody calls anybody anymore. It's all text, emails. But the majority of my demographic, them old schools with the AOLs, and they want to do it old school. Give me a phone call. So, again, my apologies for doubting you. Glad we got it straightened out. Now, on with the clockwork design. So I mentioned it also in the last live stream that I'm working on multiple gear design using a planetary gear system. And some of you have emailed me going, planetary gear? What is planetary gear? Planetary gear is can be 1, 3, 4, can be 5 gears, maybe 4 gears, but usually 5 gears and up for a planetary gear system. I've got a planetary gear system here that is 4, 5, 6 gears. And you've all seen planetary gear systems, but you didn't know that's what they were. How many of you have either had, purchased, or seen the fidget spinners? I never seen a use for those things, never understood why they were produced, but I understand that for people with either OCD and or mental situations, that sometimes just having that is a calming effect, to have sit there and just flick that spinner and just watch it spin. But that's what I've made here. This is see it a little bit better from this side. There's 5 gears. There's the ring gear on the top. There's 4 small planetary gears, and then the one in the center is called the sun gear. And one of those is fixed, while the others will spin around it. And so I've put this together, and it has I can do a little bit of a working model so you can see those will rotate. And I'm holding the sun gear, or the ring gear rather, holding the ring gear and rotating the sun gear and the planetary gears. And I'm mocking this up because I'm planning on building something really big, like a 12-inch motorized. But you gotta get prototype. You gotta get it all straightened out first. And so in this video, I'm just wanted to show you this and explain what a planetary gear system is and how you set these up, because they're not difficult. They're very, very simple to do. And I'm sitting here spinning this thing because maybe I can kind of see the fascination with the fidget spinners. This one doesn't spin very freely because I've got it with nuts and bolts and no shims or washers to allow things just to sit in freewheel. Because it's right now I'm just mocking up the fitment. So let's jump over to LightBurn and take a look at this planetary gear system. And I've got a video that I'll run here showing this being cut out with the Roly. And let's see here. So here is my design. In fact, I'm going to get rid of that waste board. I cut it out a piece of waste. So turn the camera off. Alright, and so I was able to cut this out just like this. Here's the sun gear. Here's the planetary gears around it, and then here's the ring gear. And since they all nest in together, in fact, I've got to adjust this one a little bit. I've got a little bit of slop in the ring gear. I can make it a little bit tighter. I left it loose just to make sure that all the clearances, all my tolerances worked with my gears, and they do. And I can make it a little bit tighter. But the way this works, you have to have the right number of teeth, because if you don't have the right amount of gears, then they're not going to synchronize and they're not going to spin. They're going to bind up. So for the sun gear, for how many teeth you have, you got to know that. And then for your planetary gears, you need to know how many teeth are on it. Then you take the total number of teeth of your sun gear right here. In this case, it's 30 teeth on this sun gear. And the planetary gears each have 10 teeth. So if you take your planetary gear, and we'll come over here and say, let's start with the planet gears rather. Planet gears, planet times 2, and then add your sun gear. And that will equal your ring gear. So I told you we had 10 teeth on the planet, and we had 30 teeth on the sun. So 10 times 2 is 20, plus 30 is 50. So the ring gear has 50 teeth. And that's the secret sauce to getting the ring gears and the planet gears and all with the right settings, or the right number of teeth rather. Now another trick is you want to have the same size gear. This is the same size gear as this, and that's the same size gear as that. So by having those, and here comes a fire truck, but having those all the same size gear, they're going to match up perfectly, and you've got the exact number of teeth in order for those to work and work properly. Then I've got this piece here, and we're going to put this one on a black layer. Add that one to it. Group. Well, you know what? Just group, grab them all and put them all. I thought they were grouped. Now group it. That's the axle, if you will. Put that right over the center. You see that lines up with the center holes and the holes of the planet gears. And you can, and I've made it so you can see all the gears moving and turning. And here I put a round nub so that if it was actually able to freewheel, you could just use your index finger and it wouldn't hurt you just to spin that. And you could spin the ring gear and watch all of these rotate. So that's a planetary gear system. And to show you real quick how easy those are to create in LightBurn, if I start with the letter A. Not lowercase, but a capital A. And I'm going to put it in metric here. And this is telling me that the width of this is, we're going to make it just 8 millimeters. It's 8 millimeters wide. And I need to have... I'm going to create the sun gear, and I want 30 teeth around my sun gear. So I'm going to open up my calculator, and I'm going to say 8 millimeters is how wide each gear is going to be, times 30 teeth. That's going to be 240 would be the circumference of that circle. I'm going to divide that by pi, and that's 76.43 millimeters. So I can draw a circle, holding my shift key, 76.43. Grab my A, grab my circle, put it in the center, Alt Shift V for vertical alignment, and I'm actually going to bring the A inside about like that. That was 2 millimeters inside. Now I can take and hold my shift button, select my circle, go to my circular array tool, and I told you I wanted 30 copies. Oh, I didn't rotate them. Undo. Circular array, rotate objects. There we go. Say OK. Those were grouped. Hold and shift my and select my circle and weld that together. Now I'm going to ungroup all that. Grab that, pull it over here. Grab those and delete them. There is a 30-tooth sun gear with the 8 millimeter wide letter A. Now, if you're worried about having any kind of backlash or any clearance issues, you can take and draw a simple circle that's going to take up, you know, the lower third or so of your tooth, and hold your shift button, select that, and do another circular array of 30 pieces. Say OK. And now say A, subtract that group. And that'll open up that area a little bit. You may have to modify that some, but that's how I generate my gears. You just have to watch for your, I forget the fancy name for it, but whenever you go to do the next one, we need 10 gears. So we know we're going to go back to the calculator. We know that we're going to use the letter A, and it's going to be 8 millimeters wide. So 8 millimeters, and we need times 10 gears. That circumference is going to be 80 millimeters. Divide that by pi to get the diameter, and that's 25.48. So I can draw a circle, 25.48. Get my letter A. Align it to the center. Vertical align. Bring it down 2 millimeters. Circular array. And we only need 10 copies. And say OK. Weld them. Ungroup them. Grab just that outer piece. I can delete all that. And if I check this, I gotta find, I need to rotate it. And I'll rotate this so I can get one of the, there we go, right at 90. Now I can take this and check my clearance and fitment. And so you don't want to, you don't want to go all the way in with it. And so where I put those circles, they're so low that really didn't even help. But if I wanted to, now that I've got those in there, I could actually change that by just simply drawing another circle. And put it up here where it's going to be closer. Sort of like that. Circular array. And it was 30 of those. Say OK. Now A, subtract B. You know, and you would want to do the same thing up here, but I don't think that it's going to be necessary. And really, if you use the same size, pitch, and angle on all of your gears, and you got them spaced properly, you shouldn't have a backlash issue. But now I could take this, hold my shift button, select that, do my circular array, and I need 4 of them, and tell it not to rotate. And now you can see that lines up, that lines up, that lines up. And if you only wanted to do 3 of them, well, now you can do 3 of them, but your alignment's not going to work right. But they will. You just have to reposition, spin those gears. But maybe you want to do 5 of them. You could do 5 planetary gears. Those spun correctly, they would all line. In fact, those look like they do all line up. They do. So that, and then to do the ring gear is not that different, except you're doing the teeth on the inside of the ring gear. But these are not difficult to do, not difficult to make. The trick is remembering the mathematical equation that for your gears, the number of gears, it's the number of teeth of the planet times 2 plus the number of teeth on the sun equals the number of teeth required for the ring gear. And that's the trick to setting up planetary gears. And you can create, fidget spinners like this. But this is not my end goal. My end goal is to take this and I'm gonna add probably some other gear-driven components, and I'm gonna make probably what's going to be at least a 12 by 12 functioning clockwork gear mechanism, and just see what it turns into. So hopefully this recording is going to go well, and I'm going to get this edited together, show you the video of that being cut out with the Roly. Again, two apologies. Apologies to Ed. Did not, like I said, I knew something wasn't right, and what wasn't right was you weren't talking with Roly. You were talking with some third-party person. And the reason they hadn't shipped your lasers because there was confusion. Did you want the 30 or the 10? And they were waiting for confirmation from you. We got that all handled, and I'm glad it's resolved. Okay, so for those who want to watch the laser do its thing, I'm going to run that video now showing cutting out all the little pieces for the fidget spinner / planetary gear system here. If you want to become a regular supporter of this channel, consider going over to patreon.com/hobowithwood. There are 3 different tiers there: bronze, silver, and gold. Bronze is $3 a month. They get 60% off all my digital files on hobowithwood.com. Silver is $9 a month, and they get 80% off. And gold is $20 a month, and they get all the files for free. But they don't get all the files for free the first time they sign up for $20. I had a few people that were doing that and canceling their membership, so I had to throttle that. So you can download $40 a month, double your investment back, and if you find you need more, I can send them to you. Okay guys, if you want to watch the Roly do its thing, I'm going to run the video now showing it cut out the planetary gear system. Have some good music to listen to. Thank you for watching. Sponsorship is patreon.com/hobowithwood. You can always do the super thanks down below on any of the videos, and anytime we're live, if you want to drop a super thanks, they're appreciated too. So thank you for watching. Hang around for the Roly, and I'll see you in the next video. it.